This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Safari Live. This is a live interactive safari, and this is the sunset time, the AM safari. Of course, there's no sunset today. I mean, sunrise today, excuse me, that's what I meant, because it is really early in the morning. And we are starting off today with the help from the drone. And that is why we are starting this early and it's still so dark. Now that's why I've also got my spotlight out, looking around for any nocturnal creatures that I can find. Now please use the hashtag SafariLive or the YouTube chat stream so you can communicate with us and we can get your questions and comments and we can get a bit of discussion going and get to know you guys. I am Trishala, I forgot to say that to you, but now you do know. And I am on the lookout for... Well, Goli says that he's heard soaring last night, and we thought Galagopan might be a good place to start, so that is exactly where we're going. Now, we do have the rain covers on, or the roof on rather, so if you see a pole in your shot or anything obscuring the view, that is what that is. Oh, I have a small scrub here, but he is skittish. Doing the lighthouse, Jamie Patterson, as James calls it, looking for eyes that shine in the bush. And while I do that, let us go to Ali, who wants to say good morning to you as well.
Well, we have got a little bit of an eye in the bush and some nice bright coloration all the way there of a tiny little scrub here moving around in the night. My name is Ali, and on camera with me today is Davim, who's operating a bunch of different cameras and very cool camera equipment. And we are out in search of course, all the nocturnal creatures that might still be jumping around. I think, though, this one might have jumped away from us. Okay, well, because it ran away, then we're going to carry on looking for new things. But now, in the world of updates, just to let everybody know, I got a message from one of the guys that works at Nkoro. And apparently, our good old boy Hosanna has indeed been eating his impala cake somewhere else. Unfortunately, not on Juma, and he was seen yesterday crossing into Londolozi. So, this car is sounding wonderful. So he's not around, but he is apparently all well and fine. So I know a lot of us were starting to get concerned at the lack of signs of Hosanna, but according to him, he crossed yesterday morning into Londolozi, so we know where he is at least now. Now, he better just go down for a little incursion and then come all the way back. He shouldn't follow the path that Tamba took. I wouldn't be too impressed. I think if that happened, potentially we would have people like Tristan who would walk all the way to Londolozi and bring him back, pulling him by the tail and be like, no, you stay at Juma, kitty. But interesting to be driving out and about so early in the morning in the Sabisana. I think it's my first time out here so early, so it's pretty much feels like 4 o'clock in the morning, I should say. I cannot tell the difference between this and an hour later, but hopefully we'll have some things around. I do know that the Nkuhumas were also apparently quite far south yesterday from where we are now, but who knows? With the storm, all the cats come out and they start hunting, and it's actually good weather for them. We had some rain yesterday, lots of wind, so I'm sure that makes a lot of predators happy, especially all these female leopards that we've got around that still have to care for their cubs and try to find things for them. So I wonder if Lalamba... Oh, a little scrubby. There we go. Are you on the infrared? Sorry. Bottom one. Okay. And very, very pretty, just jumping around there. So lots of scrub hares, perhaps one of the most common creatures that we see during the night. We're gonna swap the cameras and then we're gonna go into the FLIR camera, which is very cool. I mean, I was saying to Emma this morning, I am very excited to be able to play with one of these cameras, even though the scrub hairs do not seem to be particularly friendly to us today, just because this way I can tell Tristan he's not the only cool cat. We all get to do this. I don't know where it is. I think it's gone. Alrighty, we are back into IR. So if you're wondering why we're swapping the cameras into a million colors, one of them, the one that's pretty much blue and orange, or red. The orange or the red picks up the heat that is reflected from the animal's body, so that's why we are able to spot them. And then the black and white one is our infrared camera. We've got, I think it's an impala sleeping here. I want to try go a little bit further back. There we go. Very beautiful view. We're gonna stick around with these impala. I think we've woken her up. You can even see the little spot where she was lying in. It's been very cold evening. So we're gonna send you guys across to the Mara, find out if they also had rain during the night.
Hello! Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the beautiful Masai Mara. It's still dark here, but we're all ready. My name is Isaac, and on camera is Achi. I'm joined by my colleagues in Southern Africa, Tristan and Lauren, and we are doing a drone session this morning together with Game Drive. Welcome once again. I'm already in the Sausage Trees Pride territory, and I am looking for them. I haven't seen them for about 10 days, and it's about time we look for them. So come, join me. Well, I was here yesterday afternoon looking for them, but I couldn't find them. But I have decided again to come very early and see what we can find. Maybe we'll get lucky. Since the last kill, if you were not with us, the last time we saw them, they were on a buffalo kill. And that's the last time I saw them. It's been a while. And Kinky Tail was there, so it means she has given birth. And I think that's where they all are, but we don't know exactly where. So I am here in search of them. We are on IR, infrared camera right now, which helps us to detect these animals without interfering with their behavior. At the same time, I'm using my spotlight to see as far as possible. As soon as I spot something, I'll switch it off, and then the camera will take over. Over here, the weather is quite nice. It's around 26 degrees Celsius, at about 68. Quite cool, not as cold, but it's gonna get cooler as it, the morning appears. I'm in a sea of grass, as you can tell. I don't think you can see very far, but actually the grass is very tall here. And it's almost impossible to see very far, but I'm hoping to see those glowy eyes of lion. Those are the things I'm looking for this morning. You know, that bright, those cat eyes that glow, that's what I'm looking for around this area. If not a lion, maybe something else. And that's the only way to detect or to see them, unless they're walking on the track. But this is their territory, and they must be somewhere. I hope you had a good night's sleep and ready for an active day, an active morning. It's been very hard for the Sausage Tree Pride because, you know, most of the game has moved out of this area, so they have been to travel quite long distances to find something, and I think that's why we haven't been able to locate them every other day like we normally do. But I'm sure where they are, once we find them, we'll be able to follow them for the next couple of days. And maybe this is the day. The Oldonyo pike males were seen around this area. The Oldonyo pike males, if you've heard about them, they are the two dominant males of the Sausage Tree Pride. And this is the same area somebody told me he saw them yesterday. And that's the other reason why I'm this early. I have decided here. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all. Yeah, I'm very excited. Also, I'm looking forward to finding something. If not now, maybe in the next couple of minutes, an hour. Wish me luck. It's rather tricky here. I have to quite concentrate. Actually, don't fall out. right. So let's go around this way. When it gets light, we are going to be able to see much farther, which is going to help us. But at the moment, I'm just utilizing my lights, my headlights and my spotlight. And that's all I can do right now. But eventually, maybe I'll be able to spot something. See, this time of day when sometimes, you know, you come across lions, they're very active. And this is a time of morning when if they find something, that's when they really, really like go for it. And you never know. Sorry, could you come again? Bush babies, you talked something about bush babies. Could you come again? Oh, I've got something quite big here. I don't know what it is. So it looks like a field mouse running really fast. Sorry, I didn't understand that question. Could you? Oh, Jane, you asked about bush babies and owls. Yes, this is a good time for them. Owls, I would say I could find here. Bush babies, they are in the Mara, but not, I would say, Greta Galago, Greta bush baby, which is the big one in the forest down here. Might be able to find it. The lesser Galago is more adapted to eating sap from acacia trees, and that's much closer to camp. So you never know. I'm coming to small creek here. Maybe we might be able to spot one. Yes, we do have bush babies. Owls on the road. This is the best place to see them on the roads, but I haven't seen one yet. So cross your fingers, we might get to see one. We have the spotted eagle owl. We have Verox eagle owl, pale spotted owlet. We have a good number of owls in the Mara, so you never know which one you're gonna see. And this is a good hour. Yeah, while I continue looking, wish me luck, let me send you to Trish, who's got something nice for you guys.
I do have one of the most interesting things. Oh, there you go. So this is very cool because we were just chatting about the fact that they walk and don't hop. So this is a bushveld rain frog. Look at it go. So it walks instead of hops, which is quite curious. And it's giving you a great example of how it does that. We also know that this is a female because the male is super tiny, much smaller than this. And you can see that the head kind of leaks into the abdomen area. There's no distinct neck, kind of. Yeah, I was going to say like a Pavarotti. But very, very cute. In fact, Breviceps, which is the genus name, indicates that to us. It means no neck or something similar like that. It is an interesting thought. Pavarotti thought. I do like him very much, though. There you go. Walk, 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 walk. I think it's really, really curious about how it walks instead of hops. But then we also think about why exactly frogs hop, which is also an interesting question. Well, this is a nice time for it. It has been raining here in Juma. And, well, it's not called the bushveld rain frog for nothing, is it? So it can now have some moisture, so it doesn't have to worry about being dried out as it has the last few days, which have been quite intense. So at least now it has some moisture in the air and in the ground, and it can get its skin nice and moist and can respirate properly. Anyway, very exciting this morning. Bushveld rain frog. Let's see what else we can find. In the meantime, let us go to Ali, who has some hot impala, apparently.
Well, they are a hot impala. We are looking at them running around with the infrared, but it's very interesting to see them with the FLIR camera, because then you're able to pick up all the little hotspots of where they've been and what parts of their body. Oh, we've got a wildebeest that is photobombing our frame. Sorry, are you hanging out with the wrong species of antelope? Now, what you're looking at, everything that is red and yellow and of a darker color that is not blue, that shows the hotspots of the animal. So it just shows the warmth, and that's why we see it in this different color. So even within the wildebeest that is now scratching his feet in a very funny way, then you could see that even his tail was of a blue color. Potentially because there's no heat stored in the blue of in the tail of the wildebeest. Actually quite nice and hot, considering, I mean, for the temperature that we've got out here, we're wearing jerseys and so on. Again, no, we shouldn't be complaining, considering there's a polar vortex somewhere. Are you gonna stick around there? It was quite interesting earlier because they were all lying down, and then you could just see that even they had formed a little hotspot just underneath where they were lying down. So obviously also they warmed off the ground a little bit from where they were, and it was not just them. Now it's interesting, look at the temperature difference between the wildebeest, obviously a little bit hotter than the impala and the baby impala that is coming behind. And even within the impala, it's hilarious, that is a little bit bluer towards the bottom part. Now we've swapped again to IR, so the infrared camera. That's why you're looking at everything not in color but in black and white, just so that we're able to see these animals in the dark without having to put a light on them and then impact on them in any way. It's not uncommon for different species of antelope to stick around together. It's actually a good strategy to keep more eyes out and see at different height levels, so that everybody can see what's going on. Very nice. I think with the impala, you'll see that they slip down for a little while, then they'll wake up, and then they'll start moving around, which is quite interesting, or start ruminating. But they're gonna now probably start lying down, and then I think the wildebeest will stick around with them. Pretty. Very peaceful. They all got up and now they're all going down. Sorry guys, I've just got to answer my radio. Standing by. Lauren Farali.
On the other comes.
Sorry.
Game drive.
Just trying to get a hold of Lauren, because it seems like she's trying to get a hold of me, but it seems
Ali,
like something's happening in the world of... Alrighty, copy that. Alright, copy that. Alright, seems like Lauren and Seb, who are currently out in the drone, have got something. Okay, we're gonna send you guys across to Lauren, and then who's gonna tell us what's gonna be happening.
Good morning, a very, very good morning. My name is Lauren, and this person here is Sebastian, and we currently have the drone up and we're looking at the thermal camera here. Now, we just put the drone up and we headed a little bit south from where we are now at quarantine, and it does look like we have something ahead. Not sure exactly what it could be, but it is definitely stationary and flat. Could potentially be a cat. So we are going to call in Ali, who's on another vehicle, and see if we can get her to the sighting. Ali, come in.
Standing by.
Okay, keep making your way along Philemon's cut line, and then you're going to go into Philemon's dip, and there should be a track that you're able to take that I would direct you to, and we have something.
Copy.
It looks like there's a 2-track nearby, Seb. I'm just trying to... She's coming from Philemon's cut line up north. Yeah, maybe Rebecca's road would be a better one. I think the 2 tracks coming from Rebecca's road. Yeah. So probably better Philemon's cut line then. So we're going to have to off-road for a little bit. How far do you think that is from the road, in your estimation?
Standing by.
So what we have looks like 2 stationary flat animals, could potentially be a cat of some sort, so they're not on the move, so just continue making your way towards Philemon's dip.
Copy, I'm almost at the dip.
I can only see 2, is that right?
Yeah.
2, okay. Yeah. Right under a tree of some sort, yeah. Okay, perfect. She's almost there. She's almost at the junction of the dip and Weaver's Road. I'm still just trying to think whether to go along Rebecca's. You think Rebecca's would be easier than Philemon's dip to cut in? Tricky to see. That's Rebecca's. She's passing Rebecca's now. Let's just see when she gets onto Philemon's dip. Okay. Ali, come in.
Standing by.
But it might actually be better if you come from Rebecca's road. Sorry, they're off-road, so we're just trying to figure the best way to get you into them.
No, that's fine.
Did you copy that, Ali?
Copy, just getting my bearings as to my quickest way back there.
Okay. Yeah. I've lost sight of the... Okay. I can't see the flat animals. Okay. Yep, so she's coming along Rebecca's. Ali, come in.
Standing by.
Okay, just drive slowly. They will be on your right-hand side to the east. So we're going to tell you when to turn, so just continue driving slowly for now. It looks like there's a clearing there coming up, doesn't it? Okay.
So basically before the road bends, the vision is then right.
Yep.
Then like soon. No.
So Ali, you're going to make a turn now to the right towards the east. There should be a clearing and easy access to get towards the animal.
Copy.
Looks like there's an easy path. Yep, perfect. Continue driving straight, and the animal will be on your left-hand side towards the west as you approach. You're very close now, Ali. The animal should be up ahead. Oh, I see 3. I think there's 3.
Got it. Leopard with a kill.
Fantastic. Good job, Ali. Good job, sir.
Woohoo, well done. Alrighty. Well, what a surprise it is. It was actually not 2 cats lying one next to the other, but it's actually a leopard with a kill. We might have just missed it by a little bit. You can see here it's a dead, fully grown male nyala, and it's just starting to feed off the kill. It's just starting to pull the stomach contents out, which is that little blob that you see towards the back there. So this kill is really, really fresh. And as I was saying a little bit earlier this morning, stormy weather is great for predators. They tend to prefer it a lot. They tend to be quite successful. Now, by looking at this guy, looks like a bit of a, I don't even know if it's Tingana. So it might be one of the resident leopards that we get around this area. What we can tell is that it's a male leopard, and it's done a sterling job of actually bringing down such a big animal. A fully grown male nyala is the second biggest antelope that we get in this area, and I would say probably around maybe 100 to 250 kilograms, depending on the size. I'm going to go for 200 on this one. A very, very big guy. So this leopard has done a sterling job. And it is unfortunate for the impala. Joshua, goodness indeed. Little did we expect to have a leopard all the way down here. Beautiful. I think he is a little bit unsettled, so we're going to give him a bit of time to come back to the kill. Definitely not what we were expecting this morning, but it's incredible just how everything just works out. We're going to swap into the thermal camera to FLIR so that you can see all the different hotspots, and it's going to be quite interesting because you'll see that the body of the animal is still quite warm. So there we go. You've got the leopard that is sitting at the back, that hot spot at the back, and then obviously the animal's body here lying on the ground. So the body is still warm. It's not as warm perhaps as it should be, but you can tell that it's still quite a fresh kill. And this is unbelievable. It's so awesome just to be able to find a cat on a kill like this, just using all this different technology and then be able to get a bit of more of an insight as to what is actually happening. And then that's the leopard at the back there, hiding behind the bushes. So although we can see, oh, there we go. Now that it's moving its head, it's a little bit more obvious where the eyes and the ears are. And then the paws in the front. Unreal. This is very, very stunning. We are back in infrared camera now. This is why you're seeing everything in black and white, but it's been wonderful to see everyone. So if you want to carry on watching us, see what happens and who this creature is, you're more than welcome to Google SafariLive, and I'm sure you'll be able to find us. Hello everyone, we're back on our normal drive. Well, I think I'm still shaking from excitement. Definitely not what we expected to find so early in the morning. I am a little bit puzzled as to who the individual that we're looking at is, because when we first arrived, I thought it was Tingana, and I was pretty certain, but now I am not too much, now that he's gone behind the bushes and is acting a little bit shy. And I know that there's been a young, or well, not young, but a youngster or not as old male leopard that's a little bit skittish that's been hanging around here. So if this is the one, it would be quite an interesting turn of events. It could be the reason why, if I've got this right and it's not Tingana, why the reason Hosanna has decided to go all the way down there. Potentially the pressure of other males is just making that little clever boy go away, and if not, maybe then Tingana just got very, very lucky. I mean, he's going back to sleep. I think maybe what happened now is that he spent a lot of energy. Kelly, you do also think that it's a skittish male. Potentially, he's gone behind the trees, and even skittish males or skittish leopards tend to be a little bit more relaxed at night than what they would be during the day, just because potentially they feel that they can hide a little bit better with the cover of the night, and then they don't feel as threatened. So if it is the skittish male, it could be a nice exercise to then come here throughout the day and just not put too much pressure, but just try to start getting him easy, or try to habituate him to the vehicle noises, everything that we made, just so that this leopard also understands or learns by behavior, hopefully, that we are not here to do any harm. We're just here to be pretty much like perhaps a noisy moving rock that comes around and just sees what's happening. But what I think is happening now is, obviously he got a little bit caught off guard, because I'm sure he's just made the kill. I mean, he hasn't even finished pulling the stomach contents out, which is the first thing that predators do, or leopards and lions tend to do once they bring down a kill, is just to get that out, because it's a part of the animal that they're not going to eat. Also on the stomach, it's a little bit easier to break that skin and then just to try and drag everything else out. They will eat all of the other organs. They are a source of nutrients for them. So they're going to carry on once they get past the stomach that is full of grass and digested grass, then they're going to get to the good things. Now, there aren't too many big trees around here in this area, and this is quite a heavy thing to try and put up. So I think this leopard might just try to eat a little bit off of it. Perhaps is why it's trying to take the stomach contents out, to be able to reduce the weight load a little bit, in case it does have to drag it somewhere, then it's not going to be so heavy, or as heavy to move around. Where are you going? Our little leopard is just at the back. I don't know if anyone managed to see the spot pattern that we were using, or when he looked at us earlier, but if anyone managed to see him clearly, and if you've got any ideas, or if you can confirm if this is Tingana, then you can help us out by sending the hashtag SafariLive, send your answers, and we'll be able to have a bit of a better look. Because from now, I see just a few spots. We're going to wait around, see what this leopard does. Of course, we're going to stick around with him, but while we do that, let's go back to Trishella, see what she's up to.
I am doing all right. Still looking for anything nocturnal that we can find. I am so glad that Ali has that sighting. How wonderful. It's such an interesting thing, the way you get vectored into those sightings and then, of course, find the leopard with a kill. I think that's really cool. I just want to sit and listen for a bit. It's a pretty silent night. It is quite dark, quite cool, and there's bits of rain coming up as well. Coming down, rather, as well. It's kind of mysterious, and I like it. It's very, very quiet, but I like it. Like I said, it adds a bit of mystery. It makes me feel like, I'm doing an investigation or something like that. So, let us proceed and investigate the bush. Spotlight out again. I thought I saw pair eyes earlier, but then within a few seconds it was gone. Gosh, I don't even know if it was real the first time I saw it. Oh, we have a little scrub here in front of us. Please stay, please stay.
Range first gear.
Travis would like to know what scrub hares eat. Hang on, Travis. Let me just... I bet you this guy's gonna stay on the... Oh, just as I said, I bet you it's gonna stay on the road. He is just... in there somewhere. There you are. Can you get him, James? There we go. So, scrub hares. Travis wanted to know what scrub hares eat. Scrub hares are herbivorous, so they like to eat young shoots, little bits of tubers, and other things that they can find in and around the ground growing up. Now you find that they're out a lot at night. It's just jumped away. Just sorry for that pole. Like I said earlier, we do have the rain covers on. So they are really active at night, and you will still see them in the day every now and then. And all I heard was something about chocolate for the scrub hare. I thought it was chocolate for me, which I think would be much better. But they come out at night because it means that they're slightly more protected by the darkness. And other than that, they're quite vulnerable. They have no real defenses besides being able to come out in the darkness. Yes, so there you go, Travis. Now, let us see what else we can find. Coming out at this time when it's quite darker than the usual sunrise safari time is quite cool because you get to see things that you don't ordinarily see, or behaviors that you don't ordinarily see at other times, especially when the sun is up. The bush tends to change quite a bit when it's dark, and the behaviors of many of the animals change as well. Oh, there's a group of about 3 scrub hare here. Can you see the eyes? There we go, we have a group of scrub hare. I don't know what the collective noun for scrub hare is. If you know, please use the hashtag SafariLive and let us know. I'm sure it's an interesting one. Very cool. When they are on the road, they're absolutely stunned by the vehicles, and for some reason they seem to not have a natural instinct to dive to either side, but instead just run in front of the vehicle. What are you guys up to all together? Are you trying to breed together? Looking straight at us. Look at the ears, the massive ears, so they can hear well. And one is twitching. There we go. MGN says it's a wig of hairs. I just got it. Very funny. Curious? Are we curious? Ah, that's cool. And of course, they have to be really, really vigilant because there's a whole lot of predators come out at this time. Well, not a whole lot, but the main one's sort of like a leopard. A little one like Kalamba could definitely try her hand at scrub hare. So have to be a bit vigilant. So they pop themselves up high over the grass to have a look. And of course the ears are so tall and they can receive sound above the grass as well. Sound doesn't travel very well in bushy areas, so it's important to get all your appropriate organs above there so you can hear clearly. Listening, listening. I'm also listening out, hoping I hear a leopard sawing. Ah, there goes, eating. Now they have a very interesting digestive process. They will eat and then defecate and then eat the defecation and then repeat the process. So when you find them, or when you find their little pellets, it could be a bullet. It is so hard. It's hard and round, and the color is unmistakable. And that's because it's been put through the digestive process so often. There you go, Travis. You were asking about them eating. And that's what they're doing. Now, someone said a split of hairs. I think that was also one. Now, I don't know if you guys are being serious or you're taking the mickey out of me here, because a wig of hairs and a split of hairs? No. A bark.
No, it was barb.
Oh, barb. I thought James was suggesting a bark of hairs.
No.
I said, no. Yep. Anyway, ahead we go. And while I do that, you guys can go to Ali.
Right, well, I think we are not convinced that this is Tingana because of just the shy nature of it, of the cat that we are viewing. So we've decided to take it a step further. We've gone a little bit further away from where we were earlier, just to try and make this leopard feel a little bit more confident if it's not used to vehicles. So we've increased the distance that we were from the kill in the leopard earlier, just to see if that might, help him with the confidence. We've also switched off our lights, just anything possible to try and make this animal as comfortable as we can, so that it hopefully will come out and then just reveal itself to all of us. Now, with some of the other leopards that we get in this area, going from Tandi to Tlalamba to Tingana to all of them, normally they don't really mind having the vehicles around. We were still at a safe distance from the kill itself. Obviously, we've got the zoom camera that makes everything appear a little bit closer than what it actually is. But in the case of an animal that's not used to vehicles, I mean, we sit in a very wonderful corner where we're close to Manileti, Buffelshoek and the Kruger National Park. We can get a lot of animals that have never potentially seen a vehicle, especially from the Kruger side of things, so they might be a little bit wary. But I think this guy is definitely not who I thought it was initially. There was something about the face that I thought initially it was maybe Tingana, that elongated face, but judging by the attitude, I think this guy has not been exposed to too many vehicles. You see, at least he hasn't run away, because sometimes leopards will do that. If they are really, really nervous, they will go away. Darren and James Richard, do you think you agree that it looks like Tingana from this angle? I am even more puzzled now, because it seemed like Tingana to me when we were first around. But then just with this, and Tingana means shy, I mean, that's the name of the animal, but I'm just very confused then by everything that's going on, if it is Tingana, because he's normally not a shy leopard. He's actually a very relaxed individual. He's very used to vehicles. It could be that we've sort of surprised him in the middle of the night, a time where he's not used to being seen. Perhaps the noise of the drone was something that he picked up, and he realized that, it was better just to go and hide behind the kill just for a little bit. And he could potentially just also be tired. I mean, it is a massive animal that's just been brought down. And if it is indeed Tingana is a bit of an older leopard. So his energy levels are not, or perhaps his strength is not as what it was a year or 2 years ago. Not that he is getting too old too quickly or that he's not capable of hunting or anything like it. You know, might just be that age has a funny way of catching up to him now. Oh, you're still sleeping there. Interesting. You could just be exhausted from trying to bring such a big prey down. I mean, I haven't seen the leopards in this area bring down such a big animal in a while. I mean, I haven't been around, so I could just not have that information, but it's quite a sizable creature. All right, he's coming. Reveal your spots, boy. I'm gonna try and talk a little bit quieter. No, you just went behind the wrong bush. Alright, I think this leopard is either starting to settle or starting to become a little bit more relaxed with her presence. He is not making it easy for us to identify him, that's for sure. I mean, how funny is that view of him picking through the one little gap through the branches? I'm going to try to keep my voice levels down a little bit just to help the situation, just to see if he builds up the courage to come back to the kill. As I was saying earlier, whoever it is, just in terms of general animal behavior, I think it's a very good thing that he did not run away from when we arrived. I think he was just as surprised as we were to find a leopard on a kill, tired from everything he's been doing, and now he's just building confidence to go back to the kill. I mean, he's at least now facing there. So if we're patient enough, I think that we might be able to eventually see him come back to it and try to identify who this animal is. Because it's definitely been giving us all a bit of a runaround. It does look like Tingana, but maybe he's not. So many mysteries so early in the morning. I think I should have had probably more coffee. Alrighty, boy. We shall wait for you here patiently. That's such an interesting thing. I would have assumed that at this time of the year they would have been hunting smaller things with all of the things that are around. But I'm gonna be quiet for a little while just to see if he builds up enough confidence to come back to the kill and then just let us know a little bit more into who he is. But while I do that, let's head back to Trishala.
Let's have a look.
Hello, hello. Very exciting stuff. We found a bark spider, or what we think is a bark spider. We had one.
Gone. It's gone.
It has disappeared, unfortunately. But I quite like spiders. Maybe we would have seen a live kill, who knows. Anyway, here we go. It had a very impressive web in that tree. Just wish we had some sunlight to make it glisten a little bit, and then you could get a better look at it. Steph, no! Spiders are our friends. We don't need flamethrowers for the spiders, not at all. I've been reading so much about them lately. I really have a new appreciation for them. They are outstanding creatures. They are one of the first land-dwelling animals ever. We're talking like 400 million years type of ever. So Steph, please put your flamethrower away and rather use it for some criminals instead. Now, if you can see any things kind of flying ahead here, there's also a lot of insects around. Well, while I look around, let us go to Isaac in the Mara and see what he's found.
Well, it is still very dark here, And as you can see, it's a lot of road in front of me. I have moved a little bit away from the main core territory and moved a little bit to the periphery. See if I can expand my search, because territories are not that small and lions do move a lot. And I'm hoping maybe I'll find them further down this way. Well, now that I don't have anything to tell you, I can just talk about, the road and this area that we are in. If you ever look at the map of Masai Mara, you look at southern side all the way towards the Serengeti. I'm only a kilometer away from the border, but now the road is meandering backwards towards my country and the beautiful Masai Mara, so I'm no longer headed south. And this area was inaccessible for many years, and the main reason was this was prone to poaching. Poaching was a very big thing in this area because there is a tribe in Tanzania and also in Kenya that love bushmeat. And because this was very isolated and the management was not as good, they used to come and put snares around these areas and get meat off certain animals like zebra, wildebeest. But now that there is new management for the last 15 years, all that is history now. Traditionally, most of the people that came to hunt grew up being traditional hunters, and that's why they saw these as a prime area for them to come and do poaching, because there was nobody to worry about. Actually, where I have stopped right now, I could never stop here. I could never even think of coming here during this time of day. It was very dangerous because they would see you as a threat and actually they would come for you. But I'm very happy that I'm able to come here at this hour very early and be confident that there is something I'm looking for. So it's very nice to see that conservationists have come together and created a safe haven for our beautiful animals, and also for me, and also for you, seated back there, waiting for me to find you something. So it is such a great joy, to be here. Also, apart from that, this road, you could never come here because there was no road, and that's why I think they took advantage of being here. They came and just walked around, and if you dared come, they would hide from you, and that's why the poachers were here. Remember to join me on #SafariLive. Ask me as many questions as possible. Make it more entertaining as I continue trying to look for something for you. Yeah, or you can watch me on YouTube. Yes, the weather is still beautiful. The smells are amazing. I'm looking forward to the sunrise and also the sounds of the birds, the beautiful views of the Masai Mara. I'm looking forward to all that. And maybe before that, we might get to see something. Child of the universe, you ask me, why don't the migration follow the migration? Well, there are those ones that follow them, the nomadic lions and lionesses, the ones that haven't established a real territory, they'll follow the migration. But there are those lions that have territories here. They cannot leave their territories. They'll stick to their territories because if they leave, they'll go into other lions' territory and that could be fatal for them. And so that's why some of them don't follow. The nomadic ones, and when I say the nomadic ones, I mean the ones that haven't had a territory, they don't have a territory, females that haven't, they've broken away from the main pride and they're looking for a new pride to take, to be like embedded into. So those ones are the ones that follow the migration. Like during migration, if you continue following us, we'll definitely show you some nomadic lions that actually just appear during the migration. And then after the migration, they disappear. And if they followed the migration, I think I won't have anything to show you, which would be very disappointing. So, you know, they get a few of them get left behind because they have territories over here. Remember, it's still very dark here in the Masai Mara, and I'm using my spotlight to try and find things, juggling around things. Being a guide is so amazing, you know. I'm driving, I'm talking to you, I'm spotlighting, I'm changing gears. It's such an amazing, you know, job. Multitasking. Yeah, still, you know, this road, you know, it's amazing, you know, the distance that I've covered this morning. You know, in the ears, what is that? Looks like a black-bellied bustard. And he doesn't have his landing lights. He's gonna crash. Oh dear. In the years that have gone, I used to spend a whole day coming here, where I used to, you know, in one of the cups, I used to take a picnic breakfast and a picnic lunch and leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it will take me about 6 hours to get here. But with these beautiful trucks, now I can only use 1.5 hours, and I'm already here. And I've been game driving for the last almost 1.5 hours, looking for stuff. So it's really, really nice that, you know, this area is accessible. Otherwise, it will still be prone to those guys I'm talking about, the poachers. I can see that it's clearing from a distance. It's going to be a beautiful morning. I'm looking forward to using my binoculars, help me increase the depth of sight so I can be able to spot something from a distance for you guys. Yes, while I continue in search of something, I'll take you to Juma, see what the drone is doing.
Welcome back to the drone. Now we have sent the drone up again, or Seb has, should I say, and we have came across 2 unidentified white blobs, if you like. We really cannot identify them, not sure what they are. They're very close to one another, just off Central Road. So we are going to call in Trishala, who is on Rusty, and see if we can guide her into this sighting. It looks like this animal is potentially rolled up into a ball, maybe on the ground, resting, but it's really not clear exactly what this animal is. So Rusty's still coming along Central Road. I see there's a clearing right there, so it should be okay if there's a pathway from Central to get Trishala in. Trish, come in for Lauren.
Standing by, Lauren.
We are ready for you with the unidentified animals. I'm really not 100% sure what this is.
All right, Lauren, I'm
I'm
following your directions now. I'm just carrying on along Central.
Yep, I can see you. Once you pass Inyala Road North on your right, we'll start guiding you in from there. Got a little bit to go. So is that Central up ahead, Seb?
Copy that, thank you.
So just to let you know, there are 2 unidentified animals. They're both in close proximity to one another, and they're both stationary. So we'll try to guide you into both of them. What was that?
Copy that, thank you, Lauren. Am I still heading in the correct way?
Yeah, so she's almost at Inyala Road North. So hopefully we can see her coming in and it'll be easy to guide her. But that looks like an open clearing. Yep, so we can guide her to the closest one first, to the road. See what it is, and then the second one. Trish, I can see your location. You're almost at Inyala Road North. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, keep going. I'll let you know when we can see you on the drone. Yeah.
Copy that.
Confirm, we can see you. Keep coming along.
Let's go down the dip here.
Okay, you're about to come up to Inyala Road North. Do not take that road, but once you get there, slow down and I'll guide you in from there.
Copy, thank you.
Okay, keep coming ahead. On your right-hand side towards the east, there's a really large tree, potentially a marula, I can't tell from here. You're going to take a right into the clearing once you get past that.
Copy, must I still go a bit forward?
Yep, as soon as you can, when there's an opening, take a right and travel east into that block.
Copy, taking a right now.
Yeah. Okay, travel in. We will guide you. Drive slowly. The animal is up ahead. So is that first one under the bush?
Copy.
Okay, I've lost its visual slightly. Yeah, okay, turn to your right slightly. What was that, Seb? Yeah.
Copy, turning to my right slightly. Just trying to avoid trees.
Copy that. Don't go too far. You will need to take a right after this tree here.
Copy, just got blocked off by a huge fallen over marula, so need to back up and do it again.
Copy that. Oh, it's up. What is that? Okay, the animal has moved. It is now mobile.
Copy that.
Okay. Okay. We're now going to guide you into the other unidentified animal, which is stationary. Okay, you're on line with the animal. Just keep traveling forward in the direction you're facing.
Copy that.
The animal will be under a tree or a bush on your left-hand side. Keep going forward. Cannot work out what this animal could be at all. I think it's quite thick. Okay, keep driving forward, Trish, and up ahead, it looks like there is actually more of a sort of two-track that'll be easier for you to follow. Keep going.
Copy that. Straight still.
Okay, stop there. You're on a two-track. Turn right. No, they've gone past it.
Copy. Can't see the two-track yet.
Hey, Trish, stop. You've gone past it. You've gone too far. You're going to have to stop.
Okay, stopped and backing up.
Yeah. Okay, back up a little bit and then turn right. There is an opening in between two trees.
Copy. Got it. Turning right now.
Perfect. I can see you. Keep turning right. Trishala, stop there. The animal should be right in front of you, just on your right-hand side.
Copy. We are going to have a look now. Am I in the perfect position?
Not sure what it is.
Copy. We're going to have a thorough look now.
It's not moved in a while. It's directly on your right-hand side. Trish, do you copy?
Copy. It's a baby.
Trish, I didn't quite catch that, but we are going to have to bring the drone back towards home.
It looks like a baby antelope of some sort that's kind of curled up in a ball.
Okay.
It is peacefully sleeping at the moment. Very cute. So we've managed to find this with the help of the wonderful drone above us. Was not sure exactly what this is, so all they see is the hotspot, which is I'm sure what you've seen. But this animal is sleeping very nicely and curled up into a ball. In a very, very safe place, I would think, all covered up by the vegetation, and we struggle to see it very well. Very, very cute. Anyway, wasn't that interesting and fun? Thank you so much for joining us for this. Very cool. I think so. Thank you so much. Until next time. All right, everybody, that was really, really cool. We're going to leave this guy to peacefully sleep here. And in the meantime, we will go to Ali where we continue to look and see what else we can find.
Well, our mystery leopard has decided to come out, and I think quite confidently we can say it's Tingana just by judging at the pattern on the side of his eye. So he's now proceeded to come out from wherever it is that he was hiding behind the bushes and started eating. Now, if this is a little bit too much for you, please do look away, or perhaps it's a good time to go have a cup of tea or something a little bit stronger. I think when we finally realized, or we can say quite confidently, that it's Tingana, the first thought that came to mind was, I started giggling because it's, haters gonna hate. Tingana can still make his own kills. He doesn't just steal them. Which is good to see, because he's gathered a bit of a reputation lately just because he seems to have been enjoying the meals that have been provided by him from Hosanna and Tandi and who knows who else. But I think it's just quite a great show of strength that he's managed to bring down such a big Nyala. I mean, it's quite an impressive kill, I must say. And now that I think he's settled a little bit, and then he's not as tired. I think what happened earlier was perhaps he got a bit of a fright. The kill was really freshly made. Definitely not expecting to see any of us around. So he's just now come back to it, and he started feeding now. You can see he hasn't finished taking the stomach contents out, and he's gone for the softer part, or one of the softer parts, easier parts to start eating from, which is the rump, or the behind the bum of the Nyala. So he's getting in there just to try and get to the softer meat. So when he tilts his head sideways using the carnassial shear, he is opening up all the little things. We could try go to FLIR just to show, but I think perhaps the view is a little bit better in infrared, just because at the moment on the FLIR it would just look like red on red. What do you think, Davi? Better view in infrared. Davi, the cameraman expert. Yeah, there we go. There's a quick look on the FLIR. It's red on red. It's very... So obviously the animal's body was still very hot, so very fresh kill. And it's a little bit better just for behavior, just to be able to see what's going on if we look at it in infrared. I think what got him going, or to decide to come back to the kill, is that we heard hyenas not close by, still quite far away, but that definitely spiked the attention back up, and perhaps he's decided, nope, let me just try and get my meal now, or eat as much as I can, just in case somebody comes around and then steals it. Like I said earlier, it's quite a heavy kill, and I think he's going to struggle to try to put it up in any trees. Also, I do not see any trees nearby that he might be able to put it on. There's one further behind, so that big one to the right of the back of the frame. But I'm not too sure. It's still a little bit dark to decipher what type of tree it is and how hard it would be for him to get it all the way up there. Anyway, he would still have to drag it all the way to the base of the tree. So it'll be interesting if he does it. I think he's now trying to eat as much as possible. And even if he drags it underneath these bushes, just roughly where he was lying down earlier, it would be a good hideout. Not too many things should be able to find it there, unless there's a wandering hyena that comes around that's able to hear now the crunching of the bones that he's doing, and might be able to then detect the kill going by scent. What a surprise. I was definitely not expecting to see this on the morning drive. All sorts of things happen, and it was really good for, as we were saying earlier, this type of weather conditions tend to be quite good for predators, because the wind is swirling, it's making noise, it's taking away scent, so the animals sometimes can the predators can approach their prey much more easily than what they would have to if the conditions are a little bit better weather-wise. So I think what could have happened is that this Nyala came down here. Perhaps he was lying under a tree. Perhaps he was looking for cover, as it's been a bit of a chillier evening than what it has been in the past. And then Tingana just saw the opportunity and went for it. And now he's definitely enjoying morning breakfast or midnight snack. I'm not too sure what to call it anymore. It's good to see that this leopard still has it in him. I know every now and again we all worry about him and how he's doing, but clearly not too bad, not too bad. And this is perhaps one of my favorite things about cats. They're very resilient, like even lions. You can never write them off in a sense because they have a way of making a comeback. Or just because we don't see them all the time, we tend to assume things, and we do spend 6 hours of the day with them if we can. But the rest of the time, you can only wonder what they actually get up to. And I think today, thanks to Seb's good droning abilities, well, we got a bit of a glimpse as to what he's been doing during the stormy weather. Oop, there we go. I think he's managed to finally get through the skin, cut the skin using the carnassial shears, so the back teeth of his mouth that act almost like a pair of scissors. And then he's just now starting to get to the actual meat, trying to pull everything from the bone itself and detach it from the skin and have a bit of a bite. I think this will make a good meal if you manage to keep it the whole day. MGM, nom 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 seems like an appropriate caption for what's happening. Definitely eating Ghana's nom 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 nomming right now. Now, you see, when he starts licking like that, when he starts licking the skin, their tongue, as you know, is very rough. So as they start licking, they're trying to detach the meat from the bone as well. So it's just to try and loosen it up a little bit so that they can feed off of it better. Are you tired? You even look a little bit sleepy. Obviously, he's still worried about other things. You see the ears going back, so he's not fully relaxed, but it's not an issue at us. I think there's just something around that he's listening to. Mike 1011, leopards will not eat the skin and the fur for nutrition. That's actually part of the reason why he's trying to lick the meat off the bone. It's because he will not eat those things. It could happen that he'll have a bite here and there and he'll eat some of those pieces, but it's not really what he's after. What he's after is all the meat that is underneath the skin and the fur. So often you'll see them, especially if they start plucking birds or creatures with a bit of a longer hair, you'll see that they'll start trying to get rid of them, and they open their mouths like normal domestic cats do and then just try to get rid of all those hair balls. So it's not, they have to deal with it, obviously, because that is the layer that will cover what they're after, but nutritional wise, not really. And then they won't eat the hooves or the horns. They normally, very few animals actually even tend to try and go for the brain of another creature, just because it's very hard to get to. So hyenas are some of the few that can digest hooves and hairs, and you'll find them often in their scat. But when it comes to leopards and lions, they tend to not do that. Well, I mean, looks like you could have used a meal and you got a really good one. Now it's perhaps he's going to try to roll it to try and get into the stomach, or try to open the stomach a little bit more. Looking good. Oh, imagine all the strength that you've got to have just in your jaw to be able to turn this animal around. Now, it's good that he's standing next to it, because now we can get a bit more of a size comparison or a size reference as to how big the nyala is and how big the leopard is. And he's just looking at his stomach or towards his back legs. You can see that he's not particularly hungry or too hungry, let's put it that way, but he could have used a meal, and hopefully he will get a good meal out of this one. There's always a possibility of hyenas or perhaps other leopards or even lions coming in and getting the kill, so I think it's part of the reason why he's decided now to start feeding as much as possible to at least try to get a bit of a bite, a meal from him. I think he's now decided that getting the stomach out of the way is the next step. So you see what he's doing now? He's using the back part of the teeth and the back part of his jaw to try and open it up and to try and get the rest of the stomach contents out. I think it might not be such a pretty view. So while he fights with the stomach and the skin, we're going to send you guys all the way back across to the Masai Mara.
Well, I'm still here, meandering, wandering, voodoo bashing, all names that you can call in the bush, looking for those elusive cats. I can see lots of antelopes in front of me, so this is quite a promising area. I have moved around the Sausage Tree Pride, and I'm wandering around the boundaries, hoping to see one. It's really nice that you've seen Tingana with the kill down in Kruger, in Juma. Sean, you asked me, does the Sausage Tree Pride move to another territory? No, they don't. But they have quite a huge territory, and they move around their territory, and some areas we cannot access that areas because they are very rocky, and that's why, you know, we have to go all the way around and try to find them on the periphery. Otherwise, you know, the territory is very huge, so they stick around to their territory. Lions don't move, you know, out of their territory because it's very dangerous for them, and especially with a pride like Sausage Tree Pride, they have very young ones, so they don't want to risk moving into other pride's territory. It's only that they've moved to an area that either it's very rocky or very bushy, so we cannot find them, but they don't move out of their territories. Yeah. All these over here are toppies. You can see them. These are the survivors of the night. Our first few antelopes. This is a sign that's telling me that I'm getting close to where there's short grass. And with short grass, when the sun rises, I'll be able to see much further and utilize my binoculars, which is what I'm looking forward to, because this Great Plains, when you have binoculars, you can see quite far. Well, these are toppies, and they're not like alien animals. They're glowy eyes. It's what the ability to see at night. So that is what actually helps them see at night. Snazi, you say, can we see what in the IR camera? Could you come back again? Snazi, it's unfortunate. It's a bit overcast. It's a bit overcast, as you can tell. You see that? It's very overcast, so we can't see much. I wish I could show you some, but it's quite a different morning. Remind me one of the few days, Snazi, I will show you definitely. I also love, you know, stars, and it would be nice to go see a few. Well, this is Topi, my first large antelope of the day. A very beautiful, elegant, very fast antelope of the East African plains. And over here is a small group. They had huddled together for the night. Usually most of them reduce most activity so that they reduce all the noises so that they don't get detected. And this is the case. You can tell they are not moving as much. Everybody is paying attention. Everybody is listening. Everybody is smelling, so that, you know, if there is any threat, they can detect it from a long distance. And they are almost have made it through. It's just another, like, maybe 45, 50 minutes, and then it will be light. Things will be much better. They'll be able to doze a little bit in the morning. With that beautiful, you know, sun in the morning, they'll be able to warm up and graze at much ease. It wouldn't be like 100% ease, but, you know, at much ease, because they'll be able to see long distances. Remember, this is an antelope that is only found in some parts of Tanzania and Kenya, and you know, it's quite a unique antelope. While I have these guys who've made it through the night, I'll send you back to rather, you know, somebody who didn't make it the night, you know, a nyala, a beautiful antelope that didn't make it through the night.
I did not survive the night. He's now been trying to move it again, but I think it's still too heavy, so he's gone back to try and open it up. He started pulling out some of the internal organs, and that he's been feeding upon. So it can be a bit of a gruesome view every now and again. So if you don't have the stomach for that kind of view, I would say perhaps maybe either mute us or skip us for the next little bit. as it's hard to say what he's going to try and do next. It does seem like he's going to try and drag it underneath the bushes that he's in. I think that'll be a good hideout from prying eyes, from hyenas to vultures to perhaps anything else that might come around. So probably going to go to that bush to the right as he carries on feeding, and then as he lowers the weight of the nyala by eating it, then maybe he'll consider dragging it further and putting it somewhere else, or perhaps even putting it up in a tree somewhere. There we go. He's trying to turn it around. So he's not managed to open it. That, I'm not too sure where the hyenas are. I would still think that they are a few kilometers away. We only heard those earlier, and it sounded, I don't know, 2-3 k's away from where we are. So we could just hear their whooping calls. So hyenas are not actually on site, but they were around and we could hear them, and I think that's what sprang Tingana to get up and then start feeding, because he could also hear them. He had his head down, and as soon as the hyenas started whooping in the distance, then got the head up and decided to start eating again. So maybe that's why his new invigorated take on... Oh, look how strong this animal is, moving this entire carcass just by sheer power of his neck muscles, pretty much. It's incredible. It never ceases to amaze me just how strong leopards are. So yes, no hyenas for now around here, but I wouldn't be surprised that later on, maybe during the day, if the hyenas haven't found anything, or if they start foraging and come closer to the area, if they can hear Tingana moving, or even if the wind conditions are right, they might be able to smell the blood, and maybe they'll come wandering about and trying to figure out what's going on in here. You see, he's every now and again, like he did now, he puts his head up and then he just stops and listens. So he obviously is an experienced leopard, so he knows what to look out for and what could potentially come and try to get his kill. He knows he is slightly vulnerable, or in terms of losing his kill in the location that he is. I think maybe that's why he's trying to drag it, to hide it away from everybody else. Oh my goodness, he is so strong. I mean, considering, like, you always tend to humanize it or try to think about it, like it would be so much easier for us just to grab the legs and then turn it around, but they don't have that ability. They don't have hands that can help them with that, so they use their heads for that. And I think lots of branches in there are potentially not making his life easier. If he goes in there, I think it's going to be really tricky to be able to see him, and it's perhaps the reason why he's choosing to go in there. Gremlins, wow, I agree. I think even my jaw dropped. I'm so impressed with him right now. I think he's getting tired because, look, he's now stopped, but he won't let go. He's having an emotional fight right now because he's not feeding. MGN, I'm not too sure how much it weighs. I'm gonna go and suggest around about 180 kilograms, 150, 180 kilograms or so. That would be my guess, judging by the size of the animal that we're currently looking at. So he won't eat, obviously, all of those 150 kilograms, because you've got to take out some of the organs, the weight of the stomach, obviously the horns, the bones, and everything else. But it will be an excellent meal, and definitely one that will keep him around for a few days, unless something comes and tries to steal it from him. So I wouldn't be surprised with a big kill like this. Tingana, again, if it doesn't get stolen or anything, if he's around for the next maybe 3 days or so, it's a very good meal. Oh, Emma, it would be very nice if we went to Fleer, because then we would be able to see the heat drag mark of Tingana on the floor and how he's been, where the animal was lying down. There was some heat that obviously got transferred onto the ground. Alrighty, and now you can see where the legs are, and you can see where they extend, but obviously because the animal was still a warm-blooded animal and it fell on the ground, then it's hit up the ground, almost like what we were talking about with the impala that were lying down earlier. So you can see there, and then as he's dragged it across, and obviously that whole drag or the spots where the body has been lying on, because it's still warm, it started heating up the ground a little bit. It's an interesting view of a dewlap in Fleer. And you see he's using a lot of energy in his neck and then on his front paws, so there's a lot of heat that is in that area, whereas as compared to from earlier, it almost seems that you can see that where the body of the nyala has started to be, or that the body of the nyala has started to become a little bit cooler. Well done, Tingana. What a morning for you. I think he's definitely on a mission. It has started to rain a little bit, so it could also be one of the reasons why he's now so determined to get it underneath the branches of the tree. He knows it's sheltered there, so he won't have to worry too much, or he won't have to get too wet if he tries to eat. Although he's in a good enough position now, in between two trees, so unless it pours down, some of the raindrops should be caught on the branches of the trees where he is. Alrighty, try dragging one more time. And back to IR, that's why your screen colors has changed. Interesting. And oh, okay, he's starting to drag out more of the organs inside. So, bit of a interesting view for breakfast. I think it's a good thing that we're not having hours for the next few hours. But often in the female leopards in particular, or in my experience, I have found that whenever they kill an impala, they tend to be very quickly to eat the stomach contents, just to lower the weight. Because I mean, Tingana is now eaten a little bit, but it's still too heavy. And you can see what's inside is actually a lot warmer than what's outside as he's pulling it out. Perhaps this is a more romantic view of the whole scene. I think I prefer the Fleer for this type of event. Are you gonna try to move it again? Are you feeding there? I don't think he chose the easiest spot to drag this kill either, because as we can see, there are a few fallen over branches of the bush willow that is back there. A few fallen over logs, perhaps. So I think maybe the nyala is getting caught in between all of them, and that's why he's struggling as well somehow to move it further in. Oh, Tingana. Yeah, definitely a better view in Fleer. We are back on our IR camera. I think he is now almost succeeding to drag all of the stomach out. He's opened the skin enough for it to almost pop out. I think if he does it this way, it might be a good angle for us, because then we won't see it come out in too much of a in-your-face way, for lack of a better word. I think I ran out of adjectives when I called the Fleer romantic. Courtney, it is a possibility that Tingana will start chasing Hosanna away as Hosanna gets older. But it's tricky to tell, because he's been so tolerant of Hosanna all this time. It's unless Hosanna started calling and advertising and trying to actively get in the way of or challenging Tingana, I don't see why we wouldn't have seen this progression of less tolerance in terms of behavior. But it is very normal for male leopards to just leave the area where they were born into. Hosanna has been a bit of an exception to the rule, and I think that's why, we're all cheering for him, because he's stuck around. And Tingana's also not been, the textbook father leopard that you read about in being so tolerant of Hosanna. But it could be a possibility that as Hosanna gets older, and then he just decides that now this is his spot, and then he wants to stick around here, and then he's going to challenge his father out. It does not normally happen. It's not generally what happens. What will happen, unless the conditions change drastically, is that the young leopards will leave, and will move into different areas and try to establish themselves there, which is also nature's way of preventing inbreeding up to an extent, because otherwise, if Hosanna stayed around here, very likely he would mate with Thandi and Tlalamba that he's related to. We're going to stick around watching Tingana enjoy his breakfast, but while we do that, let's go over to Trishala and find out if she thinks Tingana could eat the animal that she's looking at.
Well, our little guy has just ducked down. But camera shy this morning, like we said, it is a bit of a miserable morning. So he's decided, no, it's better under the water. It was, of course, Scuba Steve. Yes, maybe he caught whiff of Tingana down there and he said, no. He knows big bosses in town, he's going to dip down. But we are here at the watering hole on the northeastern side of the reserve. We have our favorites, the Egyptian geese that are starting their day, believe it or not, as early as we are. Then they were feeding a little in the dam, getting algae and other bits of plant material in there, and now they're on the slopes having some grass. Pretty sure this is a couple, a male and a female. The month of love is upon us, so of course they are together. And for once she's not shouting at them. Can you listen to how miserable that is? Can you hear the rain falling on us? It would be very relaxing, as FC says, if you are indoors. But if you are outdoors, it is quite distressing and uncomfortable. These two don't seem to care very much. And they wouldn't really. Their feathers are mostly waterproof, so it doesn't really bother them. So what they'll usually do, their day consists of going to water holes and dams. And it is, they'll come here, they'll have something to eat, they'll rest for a little bit, and then the whole cycle starts again. Anyway, while we sit with them a little bit, try and get our covers down, let's go to Isaac, who has his binos out.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn the vehicle around and give you a view of what we have this morning. It is such a wonderful panoramic view of the beautiful Masai Mara Plains. It is very beautiful here. You can see all the plains in front of us. Such huge expanse. This is all the Masai Mara where I've been driving in the dark, and we haven't seen much apart from the few antelopes. I'm sure there's a lot of animals that I've witnessed, and maybe they have actually argued or gotten angry, saying, why is Isaac going around, past us? Maybe he doesn't like us nowadays. But I couldn't see them, it was too dark. But now I'm able to use my binoculars, and I'm going to utilize this light as much as possible. This is a huge area, and being all alone, it can be difficult. So with the use of binoculars, I might get lucky. Gremlin, you asked me, do antelopes see at night? Yes, up to a certain distance. They don't see very much, but they do see better at night than us. they do see maybe up to around, depending on the amount of light, they do see maybe 3 meters, 5 meters. At night, they mostly depend on their sense of smell and hearing to pick up a predator or any threat. And that's why those toppies we saw earlier were all huddled together, because, being together, they can help each other detect danger. Now, with this kind of light, they can see very well. The slightest movement, they'll pick it. And quickly, whoever sees, the threat will make a noise that will alert everybody around, including other ones of not their kind, that, there is danger, get out of that area. And everybody will move out of that area as soon as possible. We are waiting for the sunrise, which is going to be in the next maybe 15 minutes. Yes, I won't, hesitate to send you back to Tingana, who's got something interesting for you.
Seems like Tingana has changed up his strategy a bit. He's been more successful in getting the kill underneath the bushes, so he's decided to start pulling from a different angle. So he started pulling from the backside of the antelope, and that got him a few inches further into, the spot that he's chosen. Started raining a little bit more now. It's become more of a drizzle, so I think that's why he's also getting more anxious to try and get it out. I don't think he would feel as comfortable eating underneath the rain as he would once he's underneath there and has some cover. There are quite a few trees that are getting in his way, though, and you can see his frustration is starting to build up the more he starts pulling. And oh no, you lost it. You had come so far. Come on, Tingana, you got this. You can do this. I think he's still trying to think of, and you can see that when he stands there and then he starts looking at things, he's trying to problem solve. He needs something, Emma, for sure, but I think what he needs is, I don't know, somebody with a tractor to help him out. Oh, alrighty, that's the way to go. That's a lot easier. Yeah, you fight those branches, Tingana. Ooh, I don't know. How incredibly strong is this animal? That is outstanding. Well done, boy. I mean, for you, not so much for our view. Well done. I'm going to wait for him to settle, and then we're going to try perhaps going around and seeing if we can get a better view of where he is, because right now we've only got his tail. But after all the effort that he's done and how hard it was to get that, to drag that kill underneath the bush, so we're going to stop and then just give him a chance. Sorry, Emma, I only got the last end of that question. Rima, it won't actively the rain won't actively protect his kill, but what will happen is that animals are going to perhaps become a little more lethargic. So you won't find too many of them walking around. Maybe they'll start settling at this time of the day as well. So they won't really be looking out too much unless, there's an opportunistic animal around, like a hyena or a lion or another leopard that smells or hears something that they might be attracted about. What could happen a little bit later is that if the weather is still cool enough that a lot of the predators, if perhaps they weren't successful hunting throughout the night, they're going to be active throughout the day. So they won't be hiding underneath the bush to try and escape the heat of the day, but they could potentially be more active, and I think that's what Tingana's banging on. Well, first of all, to get himself out of the rain, but also if the day carries on being cooler, chances are that more creatures are going to be wandering about. So a way to prevent them from actually spotting him or his kill is to do exactly what he's done now. And I mean, if the drone hadn't found Tingana when it did, I'm not too sure we would have been able to spot him now underneath the branches of the tree. He's done luckily there's just a little bit of a gap there where we can still see him, but he's gone down there and it will be impossible to see him. And I've actually seen Tingana in particular do this a few times. He seems to like dragging kills underneath bushes as a way of getting everything underneath. Look how quickly he's breathing. We're going to try and reposition, see if maybe we can find a bit of a better view. But while we do that, let's head back to Scuba Steve, who I'm sure is enjoying the weather. Me?
Good luck repositioning, Ali. At least it's a bit lighter, so you can actually do it comfortably. I wanted to, of course, you can see Scuba Steve there, alone, unfortunately, and it is Valentine's month, and he's just obviously not worked hard enough. And she's gone away somewhere. We hope that she'll come back in time for Valentine's Day. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, I wanted to talk a little bit about our drone sighting that we had there with the our little baby antelope. And I don't think it was ideal, obviously, and I'm sure lots of you have concerns watching that. It was not ideal. We got really close, and we also had lights and all of that going, and the baby was curled up and asleep, and its eyes were open every now and then. So we know that it was aware of us, and we also know that there might have been a mum around or something that would have scared it. So biologically, it was not ideal. But nonetheless, we left as soon as we were done, and we made sure we had no further disturbance with them. So yeah, I think we could definitely avoid that kind of thing in the future. Still at Buffelshoek, the watering hole I was telling you about. I read something really interesting, and I'm sure you guys have noticed as well. Arbian says, don't say Valentine's Day too loudly. Well, I'll try really softly to speak about it. Is your wife or girlfriend around? No. We, well, at least my boyfriend and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. What about you, Waterbuck? Do you celebrate Valentine's Day? Clearly not if you're by yourself in this month of love. Or maybe you're just above it all. Chewing away, happily eating at this time of the morning. It's what most animals are doing at this time of the morning. It's just a female by herself for now. With the tall grass, you can't see very well, and I've noticed that since I've been back. But she looks quite relaxed, and she's near the water, and there's nice grass nearby for her to feed on. Now this couple here is just swimming off the side of the frame there. And where's your partner? I know you have one. Unless you were having an affair. That is our blacksmith lapwing, as most of you know very well. Double Dash asked if there are any other types of ducks in Djuma. Well, I have seen the knobbed duck, which is further down south, very pretty. I think white-faced. We get white-faced ducks as well. I think that's it. And if we see any others, I'll definitely let you know. But so far, that's what we've seen. Oh, there you are. Some people still in the spirit of Valentine's Day. You can see the rain falling on the water in front of the lapwings right there. So most waterbirds have the same kind of routine. What they will do is spend this part of the morning eating, and that is a water tikni. Also on the water's edge, taking advantage of this time of day. So they will come down to a place like this, have a drink, feed. Then the next thing they'll do is preen. Then they'll rest. Then they'll sleep. And then they'll do the same again and again through the day. everyone's gotten their day started. Cool. Well, Oli and I are going to swap now, so you're going to get entertained by him. And in the meantime, we'll send you over to Isaac.
Well, it is nice and bright right now, and we can see as quite a distance that is east, as said, and you can see it's going to be a lovely sunrise. Can't wait for it. Those are some of the classics of being in the Masai Mara, these great sunrises. Yeah, over there, those are the Serena Hills, about maybe 10 kilometers from me, and that's where I'm going to be headed in the next couple, maybe 20-30 minutes. I'm going to be heading there. Yes, it's beautiful over here. It's about sunrise. I don't know if you can hear all the birds. Maybe I'll go quiet for just like 2 minutes, and then to get you to listen to these beautiful sounds. Yeah, some of them are loud, some of them are not, but they're all beautiful sounds here. It's all a wonderful morning. Lots of birds chirping, crickets. Yes, everybody is very happy to be alive. And everybody's waiting and anticipating that the sun will come out soon. Here, there we go. You see it? Super beautiful. Look at that. On clear mornings, you are guaranteed this kind of morning. I hope you're enjoying it, because it's the beginning of a new day. Alarmara, you say this is gorgeous, super gorgeous. I'm glad you are having fun and you're enjoying it. Actually, apart from that sunrise over here, it is very, very beautiful, and the smells are so like fresh. There's no pollution in the Masai Mara, so usually, you know, you breathe some very, very fresh oxygen. Can actually, you know, feel it like it's very fresh. I don't know how to explain it, but you can feel your lungs fill up with good air, and that's a superb sunrise. Very different from the kind of sunrises that I've had in the last few weeks, where it's been glowy and shiny. This is superb. Yes, it's official. It's the 5th of February, 2019, and I'm so happy that you've been joining me since very early when it was dark to now. Please continue engaging me, because now I think I'll be able to share more stuff with you, because I'll be able to use my binoculars, which I was looking forward to. It's not that I hate the night, but it's because I'm very limited in where I can see, and with game driving, you usually, you know, use sight. So it was quite rather difficult. And with the long grass, I wasn't able to show you, you know, most of the nocturnal animals, but now, we are able to see more. You see the balloons on the other side, in between the sun and those hills, those are on the eastern side of the Masai Mara. Remember, this is one activity that you can do here, and can you imagine experiencing the sunrise on those kind of... Ivy, yeah, you say it's beautiful, it's great. Yes, it is. It's super. It's amazing. Look at that. Yeah, it's super beautiful. Yeah, and look at the antelope. I didn't plan that. He just appeared from somewhere. Yeah, those are things that you get when you come here. That was a Grant's gazelle. I didn't press the button for it to go across. I hope another one goes. Yes, I'm 100% sure I didn't plan that. It just appeared. Actually, it surprised me. I think I stopped at the right spot and it did, appear for me. Yes, it is super beautiful. And everybody's so happy. You can hear the chipping and chopping. Yes, apart from the animals that are in plenty over here in the Masai Mara, these are the other experiences that you get. The super beautiful mornings, the unplanned, scenes like that one that just appeared. And it is always wonderful to be out here. It's the best time to be out because you are guaranteed, even if you don't see something like that is super magical. I'm glad, you joined me and, you had fun seeing it. I'm going to continue on. I can see some ostriches, quite a big flock, about maybe 800 meters to my left, and they're quite happy. I'm going to try and head there and then share them with you. Yes, while I take you there, let me link you back to Juma. Ali has got a leopard for you.
I must say, I am very jealous of Isaac's sunrise because we have nothing quite like it right now. It is quite a fantastic view. I'm also going to look away a little bit now as Tingana proceeds to feed on what looks to be perhaps the intestines or some of the other organs that are attached to to the stomach of the Nyala. He's managed to drag it to quite a comfortable spot. I am actually, David and I are probably both a little bit jealous of the nice cozy spot that Tingana found himself in. He was very clever. I think he dragged it right to the appropriate spot. Again, all the kill fits in there, he fits in there, he can stand in there, move around, and yet he's protected from prying eyes and the elements. So well done, Tingy. I think I'm actually very happy to have seen him here. I was hoping that in my stint here he would be around, because I know he's been around torture, but he hasn't been around all the time. So what we have to hope is now for Hosanna to come back, and I think I'll be complete leopard-wise of the leopards that I haven't seen in quite a long time. I must say, I also struggle watching this part. It's very cool because it's very interesting from a biological and animal behavior perspective. But, I mean, I wouldn't find it tasty. I mean, I perhaps won't have a lot of food this morning. Cool breeze? No, they bring down, or leopards bring down a variety of prey ranging from different sizes. Now, as they get older and bigger, they tend to focus on medium-sized antelope, although they have been known to bring kudus or younger kudus down as well. Kudu is an antelope that is related to Nyala, but it's bigger than Nyala. So, funny enough, there was a study that was released, or the preliminary results were released, and apparently leopards in the Sabi-san have over 34 different prey species that they were recorded or that they were seen eating last year. So that's quite a varied amount of things, and it ranged from scrub hares and squirrels to young waterbuck, nyalas, bushbuck, obviously impala, and all sorts of other smaller species. So we have quite a few nyala around the camp and in Juma itself, so they form part of the normal diets of the leopards that live around this area. Although in this particular time of the year, sometimes we see leopards eating more impala than perhaps anything else, because the little impalas are around and sometimes they're a bit of an easier prey. Now that they've grown and they've learned a few tricks, the impala lambs are not as easy to catch, but when they are first born or when they're first dropped, then you'll see often the leopards with more than one little impala kill on a tree. I think even for this one, the female nyalas are smaller than the one that Tingana got. But, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. And they still constitute a good diet and a good prey species for them. I think it was quite an achievement for Tingana to bring down this big bull as he did. And it just shows that even though he's a little bit of an older male, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. He knows where to go, what conditions are going to be in his favor. And then obviously he was successful this time, which I must say I'm fairly happy about. Now, as I was saying earlier, the organs and everything else is a good source of nutrients of all different things for the animals. So they don't leave any meaty parts untouched unless, of course, it's something like the stomach that is full of grass that they won't necessarily eat. And even then, every now and again, you can see them feeding off the stomach contents just because if they're struggling with some gut bacteria or if they need to pump it up a little bit, then they'll eat some of that just to help their digestive system and their... their whole condition. But it's not something that they would do normally. And it's quite funny. I used to work in a wildlife rehabilitation center long ago, and often we would have to give the animals a lot of vitamin and nutrient supplements because, yes, although you give them meat, you don't always give them the other things that they would eat out in the wild, like the heart, the lungs, the liver. The liver in particular is very nutritious, the kidneys, and so on. So you have to compensate the diets with extra things, whereas the animals out here in the wild, they can get it all from everything that they eat, which just goes to show that it's a very perfectly designed environment or system where everything is there for a reason and nothing really goes to waste. Now, I think he's going to carry on eating all of the internal organs, and then as he's done with that, because he's managed to open it up, he's dragged it in, then he's going to proceed to eat the rest of the meat. For now, I think he's focusing on getting the softer parts out, just because they're easier to eat, and like we were discussing, they're also a very good source of food, of nutrients and minerals. Where are you going? I think I agree with everyone's sentiment. I'm also conflicted. Like, this is very cool, but it's also gross. But I don't know if I would go as far as to say that I'm actually hungry. I feel like maybe right now I'm fine. I could do with more coffee, but I feel like that would be as much as I could stomach for now. I don't think I would be able to eat anything right now. Definitely not meat. Seems like Isaac has managed to find a very large creature, and I wonder if he's ever seen a leopard eat it.
Here we have the elegant, the beautiful ostrich. In Maasai, they call them sidai, a sidai, which means the beautiful one. And this is the most widespread ostrich in East all the way to Southern Africa. It's called the common or the Maasai ostrich. Ali, you wondering if I've ever seen a big cat take an ostrich? I've never seen one take one down, but amazingly I found a leopard once with an ostrich up a tree. I didn't see the kill, I didn't see how he did it, but it was on a tree. Yes, I have seen a leopard with an ostrich up a tree. I've heard stories of lions and cheetahs killing them, which I think it would be very easy if they can catch them, because it's just a matter of strangling them. The neck is too thin. Yeah, this looks like they're parading towards us. This is super cool. Look at that. Yeah, the black ones are males. Oh, something is happening. Something, yeah, there's internal politics going on there. I don't know what is happening. Yeah, look at that. Woo! Yeah, those are boys. And you know what happens when there's girls and too many boys. I think this is the case. You can tell there's that one guy who's very, very, he's becoming a bully. Yeah. The grey ones are females and the black ones are males. And it looks like the males are coming into season. When they come into season, their plumage, their legs and necks become very pink, almost red. And that color attracts the female or excites the female. And here looks like the ratio is almost the same. Look like they're very organized. Male, female, male, female, male, female, male. He's all by himself. Male, male. Okay, those two have got a problem. Yeah, they have a problem. Yeah, they're coming into season. You see those legs, they're getting pink. When they get pink, they come into season. Ostrich is the world largest land bird, weighing up to 120 kilos, which is around 250 pounds, and found mainly in Africa. And right now they're enjoying the seeds. Here we have sprobolus grass, red oat grass, star grass. We have quite a number of grasses, and they're all seeding, so they are enjoying the seeds. Also, they do eat small creepy-crawlies, and that's why we have them in very big numbers. D, you say, this is fantastic. Thank you very much. It is fantastic, I would emphasize. It is just a cool sight to see these great birds over here. Yeah, the grey one is the female, just to remind you. What happens in a case like this, when the male comes into season like that, you can tell he's much pinker than the others. He will do this elaborate mating dance where he would flap his wings while moving his neck from one side to the other, and then eventually when he's ready, he's gonna go down, and when the female feels like she's ready or she's impressed, she will present herself to the male, and then after mating, the female will lay eggs up to around 2 to 4 in a day. All the females will follow suit because they'll be mating with the most elaborate male. And once one decides to, sit over the eggs, she will sit on up to, maybe 30 to 40 eggs. And surprisingly and instinctively, she will recognize her own eggs. So she will actually push her eggs towards the middle of the nest so that actually her eggs or her youngsters or her chicks will hatch. And once they hatch, mortality rate is very high during the first few months. Maybe if 30 hatch, only maybe 10 will reach maturity. Too much sun, too much rain, thirst, jackals, cheetahs, lions will kill them, even pythons. So mortality rate is very high, but we have no shortage of these huge birds. There is an eagle flying there. I don't know what it is. It just landed quite a long ways away. Oh, it's not an eagle. It's a grey heron. Grey heron. Maybe he's picked up a mouse or a snake or a grasshopper, and that's why he went there. Oh, there comes another female ostrich. Yes, once, a few years back, about 20 years, this animal was under very serious threat because ostrich farms, cropped up everywhere around the world. Poachers came and collected their eggs off the nest, so the numbers really dwindled. But after everything was kept under control, where nobody was allowed to have ostrich farms, and you had to go through lots of stringent rules to be able to start one, we have seen the numbers of ostriches come back in big numbers, which is wonderful. Wonderful, which is beautiful. The backdrop over there is the Olololo Syria escarpment. That is the most western wall. Kimberly, you asked me if I ever had an ostrich egg. Yes, but I had to have a breakfast feast with my friends because it is so big. It's equivalent to 24 chicken eggs. I had to call in for a breakfast party where I had friends of mine come, and we had, yes, an ostrich egg for breakfast. It's a big, big omelette. You cannot make it otherwise because you have to drill a hole from one side, then on the other side. Yes, and then, blow it out. And it's such a, actually quite stress because you have to blow it out. It is a nice idea, but I got the eggs from an ostrich farm. Yes, you can still have them if you can get it from an ostrich farm. Yeah, while I enjoy my ostriches, let me send you back to Duma.
Good morning once more. My name is Oli and my surname is Low for those who don't know me. And who's joining me behind the camera is still Uncle James. Yes, go means an elephant. I don't know, Henry. What does that mean? He is saying it means the master of the universe. I hope and I believe it means that. So it's raining today. It's about minus 44 degrees Celsius. Oh, I'm talking nonsense. It's about 19 degrees Celsius this morning. It's cold and raining. Look, so wet. So that's why I have to drive slowly. So we had an amazing previous 2 hours. We started with the drone and then we went to a normal drive. We're looking for Tlalamba this morning. Luckily, Tingana is back and is on track. He's hunting. And yes, all the viewers, look what I have. Blanket. And look at the horizon. I have to keep myself dry as possible. So looking for Tlalamba, but I'm hopeless because, you know, Tlalamba is still a young chap. So maybe she's curled up somewhere in the bushes. Let me move forward and see whether maybe we'll find Tlalamba or Thandi. Maybe we might be lucky to see one of the two. So for any questions or comments, you can type #SafariLive on Twitter or YouTube chat stream. So I'm driving around. I can only hear the birds. No alarm calls, no squirrel, nothing. Julie, you're asking about a sugar. I didn't get your question there, but I think... Oh, I didn't get a sugar in the marrow. I didn't get the sugar in the marrow.
What are you hoping to show me here?
I wanted to show you a bird that was making nice calls because these are the only thing I can see right now. I don't have an antelope, impala, nothing. I am having nothing. Hopefully we'll see some tracks, but because it's still raining, the tracks will fade much faster than expected. That's the call I can hear right now. That's a southern black tit. It's a black bird, small bird like this size. And then it has the wide back. So while I'm looking for any spotted cat, let's go to Tingana with Ellie.
Well, I don't really know if we have something anymore. We used to. Seems like Tingana has now retreated further into the bush or further into the tree, and he is now sleeping somewhere at the back because what we can see there is actually not the leopard itself, but it's just his stomach completely covered in flies that almost looks like a leopard with its spots, but not quite. I think after all his efforts and the morning that he's had, I don't really want to go around the bush and just wake him up again. I think for now he deserves his rest. He did pull a fully grown nyati. Well, first he brought it down and managed to kill it, and then he managed to drag it all the way back into the bush. So I think we're gonna avoid going around just for a little while, just for the morning, because I think it would be fair to Tingana to be considerate of everything that he's been going through this morning, rather than going around and start bundu bashing and then try to get a bit of see if we could even have another view of him, which I don't think we're gonna get because he's tucked in a way where the branches are gonna block our view from either side of the bush. So I think we're going to wait around a little while longer, see if perhaps he does come back to the kill, but I think he's finally now decided to settle. He was acting very strange when we first arrived, and I think it was everything, he was in the frenzy of trying to get the stomach out. He'd been feeding, he just brought the animal down, and then he was like, what's happening? Too much pressure. Well, not in the sense of too much pressure, but like, got a bit of a fright, and now he's probably just relaxing. Who knows how long actually he was patrolling the area last night to find a suitable prey, and then how many attempts before he actually managed to bring an animal down. Because we often know that the cats miss when they go hunting, and they don't always, or more likely than not, their prey will get away, and then they're going to go unsuccessful, and then they still have to start the process all over again. So I think he's deserved his rest as well as his meal. He's at least have a few bites, so we know that he's gotten something out of this meal. It's quite a big one. You can see all the flies that are now starting to go in there, potentially looking either for some of the blood or some of the moisture that is on the carcass. Attracted to, some of them are obviously carrion flies, so they're going to start laying their eggs in there as well. MGM jackals can follow up on leopard's kill, especially if they leave them down on the ground, but it's not often that we'll see them here. So we don't have too many jackals around in this area. We actually saw one a few nights ago, and that's the first one we've seen in the Djuma area in a while. So chances are that the jackals are not going to approach this area. I think for the time being, Tingana really needs to watch out our hyenas. That's what could come here and steal the kill from him, especially if they come wandering about. We're not too far from quarantine, so could be that if there are hyenas up there that have been wandering or still moving around looking for food, I think that would be his biggest challenge of an animal that would try to steal a bite or two from his kill. Unless, lions, for whatever miracle, happen to stumble upon him, which I don't think it's going to happen, because I don't think the lions or our lions are anywhere nearby. But every now and again, just through the bushes, I see the rosettes moving, and I almost think that he's going to get up and start moving, but no, he's still very much subtle. You can see the tail flicking at the back every now and again. Oh, you're grooming. Okay, that's what you're doing. Okay, so he's now trying to clean himself. No doubt he got little bits of meat, fur, organs and everything else on his coat, so he's trying to clean it up just to get it off of him. Cats are actually very clean, hygienic creatures, so even halfway through the kill, you'll see that he's now proceeded to make himself clean again. Probably don't like that sticky feeling. It's almost like having 5 showers in a day, I would say, just to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be and then it's clean and tidy. I mean, it is his coat, so they've got it's the only skin that they've got, so they've got to make sure that it's in perfect condition all the time, just also to avoid horrible things that could then perhaps lead into lack of condition due to infections or, creating an unwanted coat where mites and ticks and other things would decide to take a hold of. Boy, you were very clever. You have chosen the right spot. It just goes to show animals and their problem-solving abilities. They should probably get a little bit more credit than that what we give them for. And I remember a few years ago, funny enough, I was driving a film crew back in the day, before I was actually involved with people that did filming. And they were doing a whole study on hyenas and lions and problem-solving abilities. So they pointed, I don't know, I'm sure there are studies that have been done about it, but I've just never read about them. They were interested in figuring out how hyenas solve different problems, but around the establishment that are lodges and that kind of thing. So it was quite an interesting thing, because I got to spend a lot of time with hyenas in the southern part of the Sabi Sand, and I think leopards also, they need to be recognized in this category of animals that are really intelligent, because they know how to solve different things. I mean, just by observing them, and crocodiles as well, they can often just see, they'll lie down close to a lodge and they'll learn very quickly that there are antelope that go there. They favor certain areas because the grass is short, so they'll start hanging around, better opportunities for them. So it's all of those thoughts that a lot of them come from instinct, but it's also from their own personalities and the ways that they learn how to change things. I mean, Hosanna was very smart, and then he pretty much, when it was really dry, he was going from the from the Wiyatala Dam to Galago Dam and then Pan, and going back and forth. And he learned very quickly that when it's that dry, all he has to do is wait. and animals and prey species will come to him. So he doesn't really have to move. He just has to conceal himself a little bit, but something will come around. And it's the same, for example, in other dry areas. The Kalahari, which is a park, a transfrontier park in between Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa to the western side of the continent. In the dry season, because it's a desert and there are a lot of artificial water holes, the lions have just learned that everything that they've got to do is just lie underneath a tree and then something will come to the water, because the antelope, the majority of them, have got to drink at least once daily. So all they have to do is just wait for one of them to arrive. Somebody will come for a drink, and then pretty much they have their hunting opportunities presented on a plate. Which is, seems like the rain has started pouring down now. There's a little bit more coming. I think you can hear now. Maybe Tingana knew all along, and that's why he decided to put it down. We're going to try to maybe put some of the flaps down before we start getting wet in here. So while we do that, we're going to send you guys to the sunny Masai Mara, and I'm very jealous of the sunshine that they've got all the way up there. I wonder if they can send us some. That will be delightful.
Well, I have one bird that you haven't seen for a long time. This is the white-browed cuckoo. Look at him, how speckled he is. This is a bird that usually doesn't emerge much out into the open. It loves the undergrowth and bushes like where it is, and it is such a joy to see it. Hello, good morning. You're really beautiful. Actually, this is the best. One of the best sights I've seen of him this close. Look at him. They usually go in around pairs, but you never see them mostly together. This one just decided to come out for us. We also call it the hot water bottle bird, because when it calls, it goes bloop, 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 like, somebody pouring water. I've never seen its eggs. I've never seen its nest, so I won't lie to you. I've always seen it in trees. They love, long grass. Yeah, and this is such a beautiful bird. Look at him. I don't know if it's a male or a female, and I don't know what we call it in the local language, because it's a bird that we don't see very much, but I know in English it's called white-browed cuckoo. Coucal. Look at him. Such a fine specimen. Yeah, and he's on a little mairua bush, which usually flowers. Oops, he decided to do a dump. You're allowed, you're where you are. Yeah, these guys, feed on small insects and seeds, same as most birds. And he looks like he's surveying the area. He is not very exposed, so he's slightly hidden in those bushes. It gives a little bit of protection from birds of prey. This area I am in is full of birds of prey. Like, not far from him, you would see that there is on that tree in front there, you see that there's a bird of prey seated there. So, when red and black cuckoo, there's a black cuckoo. We have a black cuckoo, but the red and black, I don't know. I don't think we have. That's a black-shouldered kite. Yeah, snazzy, red and black. We don't have. We do have. Maybe shortly, quickly. Maybe Archie. Maybe you wanna zoom in here. We're gonna snazzy. I'm gonna show you the cuckoos that we have, and here they are before we go back to that bird. So these are all the cuckoos that we have. We have the black cuckoo, which is also which is also found here. You see it? We have the black cuckoo, which is found here. You can tell by the distribution. The Mara is right below the map over here, and then we do have the white-browed cuckoo, which is the one I was showing you. These are the two that are found here, but these are all the rest. We don't have the red. If you look here, it's a blue cuckoo, coppery-tailed, Senegal, Bachel's cuckoo, and black cuckoo. If I go to the next page, it's just my owls, and the previous page is cuckoos. Yeah, so we don't have the red and black. These are the ones that we have, and they're quite a good number, but the ones that I know are found here is this one
and this one. White-browed and black kukal. This one is much more rare. I've seen it very, very few times. Yeah, I've seen it very, very few times, this one. But maybe one day I'll be able to show it to you. So those are two of our kukals. Let's go back, and we'll show you the black-shouldered kite. I was talking about how, that is a black-shouldered kite. While I, continue enjoying this, let me send you to Coley, who's got some impalas.
At least someone is showing us in this crazy weather this morning. We have an impala. You can see it's a matured impala if you look at the horn structure. It's about 4 years old, chewing and regurgitating. So this guy doesn't need any shelter this morning. That's why he's enjoying this wet grasses around this place. So I don't have any cover or any raincoat because I was trying to fit a cover for Trishara's raincoat, but it didn't fit, and Uncle James' raincoat, nothing, it didn't fit. So I left mine in the camp. So yeah, I'm feeling very cold. I'm wet. My right-hand side, it's so wet and cold. Look. Oh, it is terrible. It is terrible. But I'm enjoying it because they say, my grandmother loved to say, rain brings luck and joy. So I'm the luckiest fish because I got wet more than anyone in this car. Hello. Have you seen Tandi or Tlalamba somewhere? This male here doesn't look threatened or scared. It means the leopard might not be around. Sometimes it's very confusing because a leopard can sneak without this guy noticing. So that's why they can look relaxed while the leopard is hunting at the back or from the back or not far from the spot. So sometimes you don't have to rely on the behavior of an animal, thinking that there's no predator around here. So let me move forward and see whether we'll find any Tlalamba or not Tingana, Tandi's tracks. I'm getting wet. Carol, get your name right. Thank you for your question. Oh, it's a comment. Oh, look at this. Just check here. This is what is making me wet this morning. I'm sorry, Carol, I didn't get your question.
Any cool trees?
Any cool trees or treats? Trees. We have a marula. We have a marula on the front there. But because we really need to see animals, we are not ready to sit underneath a tree to get a nice shade or cover for this rain. So that's why we are driving around. There are a lot of cool trees, nicely, a nice canopy on top, but I'm not willing to sit back and relax. I have to drive. And I didn't make any coffee or tea. And we have the shelter with us at least, but the rain is coming from the side, so it gets in. Oh, while I'm trying to get a nice blanket, let's go to Ellie. She's got something for you.
Oh, Dolly, I feel so sorry for you. No tea, no jacket, no sympathy. Must be a very cold drive for you. I've actually even got 2 jackets on, but I don't think my one will fit him. I am a little bit smaller. I've got the waterproof one and then the jersey underneath. You know, just gotta keep warm. When I stepped out this morning and looked up into the sky and saw nothing, no stars, I said to myself, don't know, doesn't seem like it's gonna be my kind of day. And the rainy weather definitely doesn't help. And Tingana's just fallen asleep all the way back there. And I think slowly but surely, David and I have started drifting also onto the sides of our seats, you know, heads going all the way back down. Definitely some coffee and even some hot chocolate. Perhaps even if we can find some amarula from somewhere, we can have it in true safari style. You said you just want a hot chocolate. So you'll have a hot chocolate and amarula, and I'll have a... What do you call it? A coffee chocarula.
Sounds good.
I agree, Emma. It does sound delicious. It's the thought that's keeping us going while Tingana's all happy and tucked in there. Sometimes I am pretty sure these animals are much more clever than us, standing out in the elements looking at them. I wonder what, his train of thought would be, looking at us and be like, silly humans. Silly, silly humans. No, Emma, you cannot have a nap in FC while we are here with Tingana. I feel like, the world might end. People might not know what to do. You have an important job, lady. Maybe just, get a minion, buy a minion, get somebody to make you coffee. We always say that if we could have someone to sell either ice cream on hot days at the gate or coffee at the gate on cold days, that person would make millions. Definitely. I would probably make that person rich by buying there every single day. But because that doesn't happen, then we carry on our cups everywhere we go. Much easier than transporting an entire Nyala, I should say. We are lucky in that sense. Yeah, maybe we could even start like a leopard fast food chain and be like, Nyala today, do you want an impala burger, impala cake, kudu topping? What do you wish for? Maybe we can just, get them to pay us in sightings. That would be quite interesting. I would, however, give the first meal for free to Shidulu, because if we gave him for free, maybe she would come to the restaurant with the cubs. Maybe that we should actually condition her to be like, we will give you free meals if you bring your tiny little cubs around. If you don't eat, we're fine with that, but we just want to see the little ones. I don't think I would allow Hukumuri into my leopard restaurant. I'm not too sure. I feel like he might just start a mafia in there in the restaurant and then bully everybody else out. So I'm not too sure, We will reserve the right of admission in my leopard restaurant. Not everyone will be welcome. At least not to spend too long in there. Tlalamba, definitely. Although we won't give her mongoose because she might get scared and then throw her food all over the place and not eat it like she did the other day. Hosanna, definitely. Like Hosanna, we can also give him a free meal so that he comes back all the way from Londolozi and just sticks around here for the next little while. Tamba, also very much welcome. And who else? Well, Tandi, obviously, she's got to come with Lalamba. Kuchava can also come. She's fine. Yeah, Kuchava can also come. Maybe come and show us her cubs. Sibuyi. Sibuyi is another one that is definitely welcome. I don't know if Judy, Taco Tuesdays. I feel maybe we can combine all the great things in life. I feel like that would be a good idea. Good idea. We need to Taco Tuesdays. I need to come up with a word that rhymes with something catchy. I'm going to have to think about this for a while. But as I was saying, actually, Sibuyi is the next one that needs to be invited. She has been hanging around further and further into Chitwa, so I am hoping that at some point we're going to get to see her because she is such a pretty leopard. Have you guys ever seen her, Davi, on Drive? I think maybe a few times, yeah. No, Shidulu, Sibuyi. Sibuyi. Okay, David is not sure. If you guys have seen Sibuyi, you're more than welcome to let me know using the hashtag SafariLive. She is a pretty leopard. She has been spending a lot of time in Mala, Little Gowrie, Hoffman, so she's not always in areas where SafariLive traverses where we can see her, but hopefully she seems to be encroaching deeper and deeper into Chitwa. At least she was the last time that I was there. And like I said, she's also got a young female cub, as apparently all the cubs in the area, all the mother leopards in the area do. And she is very pretty. She reminds me actually of the Scotia female in the southern Sabisan, which is a bit of a princess leopard. I reckon offspring between the Scotia female and Tingana would be stunning, would be very, very beautiful. I thought I heard something, but no, maybe it was just the rain. But maybe it sounded like there was another animal around us, but nothing to be worried. Tess, leopard lunches. Well, I feel like we're getting there. We might need to carry on working, but you've given us a head start with that. Leopard lunches. Maybe there's got to be like another fancy word that rhymes with or starts with an L. Judy, Topi Tuesdays. I feel like that would be perfect for the lions. I reckon that would be a lion restaurant. Or maybe cheetahs. Maybe it will be the only place where lions and cheetahs could decide. Perhaps lions. I wonder what, Buffalo Wednesdays. I feel like that would be a good one for the Nkuhumas. Although it doesn't rhyme, but we can try. Maybe also get them back from wherever it is that they've gone gallivanting all the way down. Maybe they'll bring the Birmingham boys all the way back and be like, hey guys, look, 2-for-1 offer. Maybe they'll come back all the way up. The two Avokas were yesterday though with the Talamatis in Buffelshoek. So I wonder, well, because they've got cubs, I am hoping that they're going to come down. Wacky Wednesdays, true. Emma, you're right. So there's a food chain in South Africa called Steers, and they do the best Wacky Wednesdays, and they give you a 2-for-1 offer on burgers. And I think maybe 2 years ago or so, Tristan and I might have bought maybe 20 burgers for the entire crew on a Wacky Wednesday. I don't know if we had a day off or why we did that. I think we all got desperate. But that was a moment to remember. But Wacky Wednesdays for sure. All right, while we ponder about what we're going to feed all the different animals and what the name of our restaurant's going to be, I feel like there's a feathery friend somewhere. I didn't get that.
Yes, I don't have a cup of coffee, or Ellie has a cup of coffee, I guess, and I believe so because I saw her with this big flask this morning. She's the luckiest fish. So on this road we saw tracks, leopard tracks. So Uncle James thought they were for Tlalamba or Tandi. They look confusing, and we can't tell whether they are old or they are fresh because of the rain that's coming from the sky. So while we were following these tracks, we saw this young fella here. Nice looking bird, which is called a cinnamon-breasted bunting. Some of you might be the first time seeing a bunting like this. It's easily recognized by the black and white stripes on its head. It's foraging about, and you can see now he is not wet. He's wet, but not much, because you can see he's active and foraging about, because some birds has this gland that acts as a waterproof, especially when it's raining or when they are hunting or aquatic birds. They help in that stage. But a bird like this, if it rains a lot for a couple of days or several days, that particular oil won't help anymore, because it will get wet to that point where it can't fly. So some they use as a shelter, some shelter like a shade or leaves. We have bigger leaves in the reserve, so some will lie or just perch underneath the leaves in the tree. So now we can see the beak is a seed eater. That's why it's around the grasses. Hello, fella. You can see this bird is more relaxed. It means it hasn't seen any cat yet. If it did, it would have been alarming. All the viewers are saying there's a cute bird on the road. Yes, it's very cute, this bird, but I need you to listen carefully for this bird that's calling in the thicket here. Is it zoop, 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 zoop? And normally this bird is called a nediki. What I've noticed about this call when I was still a student. And then the key will say toop, toop, toop 15 or 16 times, 15 or 16 times. But it might say that more or less. But in most cases, it says it like 15, 16 times. So let's go back to Tingana. He's up and about.
For a drink somewhere. Tingana is currently behind us, so that's why I don't want to move too much. Let me try. I think he's moved a little bit. Well, if I put it in reverse, that might be better, right? All right, he's there. I think all this talk about wacky Wednesdays and extra meals definitely made him go a little bit crazy, because he's decided now to go for a stroll under the rain, which I'm not quite sure why he would like to do that. Okay. Hi, boy. Good to see you. It's good that you are around. Let me cover all these things so that we don't start damaging equipment and so forth. So he's busy cleaning his head. He came out of his little hideout. He could potentially just be going for a drink of water somewhere. So he's been eating the carcass. No? Are you really went wacky, didn't you? Okay, so seeing he's not moving, I'm going to try and remove us a little bit, Davi, so that maybe we don't have those branches in front of his face. Okay, and then we'll be out of his way. No, I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna angle us. All right, so if you just bear with me for 1 second, hopefully, because I also don't want to go and park right underneath the tree where the kill is. I want to make sure he's got space. Alrighty. Okay, so he's doing everything that you're not supposed to do as a leopard after you've put your kill underneath the tree. Avinda, he's potentially not hoisted it because it's too heavy to put up in a tree, and there's also lack of good trees very close by to where he is. So either he got hot lying underneath that tree, perhaps too much effort in there, and he's come out to clean himself, finish grooming himself. Not normally so typical of cats and leopards to come and just lie in the rain while they groom themselves when they were in such a nice, perfect spot. Perhaps the flies were annoying him, and that's also why he decided to come out. We thought that perhaps he was going to go for a drink of water. There are a lot of little puddles here and there, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he was going to go and do, but I am surprised at the fact that he's not lying there, just grooming himself under the rain. It's not really what I would have expected him to do. But clearly, wherever it is that he was, it was not ideal. Hey, boy. It was nice, though, to see him walking around. He's lost some weight since the last time I saw him, but he's still a very big male leopard and still has that massive dewlap, which is that extra, well, not extra, but it's like a flap of skin underneath the leopard's neck that gets bigger and bigger as they get older and become more dominant or become territorial. Mary, yes, maybe he did want to shower. It's hard to tell. I mean, I don't think I can decipher his train of thought right now. I am pretty surprised. Just gonna go lie under a different tree. Okay. Nope, that's not what he's gonna do. Let's try and follow him, figure out what it is that he's doing. All right, hang on there. I just want to cover different things. And let's see if maybe he is going. Perhaps, I mean, he could, if he wanted to, he could go all the way to the dam for a drink. But I'm not too sure if there are other puddles. It gets a little tricky to follow him through here. Ooh, as there's a massive fallen over tree. I think I'm gonna go quickly around, so I'm gonna go back onto the road, back onto Philemon's Dip. I think that's gonna be the quickest way to follow him. And while I do that, let's head over back to Isaac, who hopefully is not as wet and he's enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, still boot and brushing. looking for something for you guys. So far we haven't been very lucky, but hope you haven't lost hope. Anything is possible over here. This is wild country, and with the long grass you don't know what you might see in the next corner. So I don't give up until the program is finished. I took a totally different track. This is an area where Nancy, you asked me if I've seen kinky tails cubs. No, I haven't seen them. The last time I saw them was about almost 12 days, heading to 2 weeks now, when I saw her. And she had delivered, and I think by the time we saw her, they were about 5 days. So right now they should be heading to around 2 weeks. We haven't seen them, but they're around, and I'm sure in the next coming weeks we'll be able to show them to you. Yes. I was there earlier on, I don't know if you're with me, and I went all the way to their territory, and nobody was around. Looks like they moved house. Their territory is huge, so they could have moved to a different corner of their territory that we cannot access. I think it's the rocky area. There is an area that's very rocky, sometimes really hard to get close to, and I think that's where, they have moved to. So we didn't see them, and I'm heading out of that area completely now, hoping to find something else for you. They have a huge area, like I said before, and they can be anywhere in their territory. Yeah, while I continue bundu bashing, I'll send you to Tingana down in Juma.
Well, he's being quite unpredictable. He's come down to a drainage line, and I think he's looking for water. He went down there and started sniffing, but I think to no luck. And now he's proceeding to go all the way in there. So we're going to see if we can follow him down there. But there's not... Yes. Nope. I thought he had found water in there, but not quite. So, time to bundu bash again. Let's see where he heads onto. I just want to make sure that I put all the necessary stuff into place. Not too sure how we're gonna do this. Hopefully no big holes down here. Yeah, I think there's quite a big gap. All right, let's see if we can get in there onto the other side. I mean, there's a concrete structure there, so if we fall the wrong way, we might hurt the car. Maybe here is the best way through. Can we see him from the top? Okay. Seems like there's a new 2-track that David is telling me about, where we can potentially have a view of him from above, because it's going to be very complicated to try and follow him in there. It is a drainage line, as you all know. Those things are never easy to maneuver, so I'm going to go around, which should take us just a few seconds to get onto the top, and hopefully we'll be able to see him there. I mean, we know where the kill is, and chances are that even if we do not get him, he's going to go back to that kill at some point. I think he is looking for water, perhaps looking for a puddle somewhere. Okay. Down... Is it... What? All right. I don't know if we're going to get through there with the roof, though. It's more that way. Okay. Let's try to redo this. We're going to fight this territory to try and get another view of Tingana, but let's go back to Isaac in the Mara, who's got one of the prettiest birds that you get up there.
Look what we have. The beautiful grey-crested crane. They were just doing a chorus. I hope they can do it for us again. They just sang a chorus. Look like they're having a discussion. There we go. super. Yes. This is happening right now, right here in the Masai Mara. This is SafariLive. Yeah, it looks like he's, making sure that all feathers are arranged properly. This is a bird that lives in the open grassland and also in marshy areas, feeding on little amphibians and reptiles, and that is what he is looking. Janet, you say so cool? Yes, super cool. Yes. And, it's looking for, like I said, reptiles and for, little amphibians. Those long legs, help them. There we go again. There we go. No, sorry. The one to the right seems to be more vocal, but this one is much closer to us. I don't know if he's gonna... Okay, anyway, let's see. Yeah. He seems to be the male. Now you can put the call to the bird. Sometimes you look at a beautiful bird like this and you wonder what kind of call does it make. There we go. You have it firsthand from the bird itself. Such a very thick, pointy beak for stabbing small, insects and amphibians. The crest sometimes can be put down, and right now it's so relaxed, it's all up. This is the crested crane, the national bird of Uganda, very widespread all over East and Central Africa. And this is a pair, they pair for life. All those are their colors, nobody has painted them. It's super, super colors. I don't know if this one closer to us is gonna make a call now. Come on, your turn. We haven't heard from you. Maybe he's got a bad voice today. Double Dash, you ask me what they are calling for. Over here, I don't think they're calling for other mates because they pair for life. It's just like, they're communicating to each other. And these are the calls the male, I think, makes when, they're just about to get ready to breed. And he's going, trying to tell her, talk to her in the language of love. And also strengthening their bond, assuring the female that, I'm here for you. Those are the sounds, it's making. Otherwise, it's also contacting other, members of the same species to tell them, we are here. Double Dash, I don't know if you heard what I just said. These are their real colors. No artist has painted them. This is their real colors. This is how they look. And they're so beautiful. And they do look like an artist has painted them. But they're actually very natural. Yeah. I don't know if that's where that guy is deciding, to put a nest, because he's been standing there for quite a while. And I think he's the male. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, well, I enjoy my bird here. Let me take you all the way to Juma, where Tingana is having a drink.
Seems like the Duke was indeed coming for a drink. He didn't choose the easiest path, I should say, and perhaps he was indeed looking for little puddles every now and there, but he didn't find any suitable ones until he came across this really big one here, just on Ingwealia Road, that is not too far from the actual dip. So he's got a lot to choose from. He's been drinking, and we can see that his belly's already starting to look a little bit fuller. So at least we know that for now he's had a good breakfast, even if he doesn't manage to finish off the rest of the kill. But, you know, his belly's starting to get that bulgy look and starting to show on the side whenever he lies down. I'm sure you're thirsty after all the effort that you've had during the night, and then the walking and then the eating. Got to drink a lot of water. So at least now we know what his potential preferred pan is going to be if he sticks around, and it might be easier to predict his movements maybe for this afternoon, even hopefully for tomorrow morning if he does manage to keep the kill overnight, which is always a difficult thing, but I think so far he's doing well. There's always, of course, the possibility of somebody finding the kill while he's away and then trying to get it from there, but I think he's actually going to be, at least for now, he might seem like he's lucky. He is very nervous this morning. He keeps looking around everywhere. There was a giraffe that was walking in the distance, so I don't know if that's what he can hear, or maybe that's, you know, what he's been puzzling about. But he saw the giraffe, so it's hard being a leopard. You've always got to watch your back and got to make sure that you know what's coming around. A big threat to him right now could be any other dominant or wanting to be dominant male leopard that might want to push him off his territory. And then, of course, lions are a big issue to him in terms of, you know, posing a real threat to his life. Other things like, well, the giraffe wouldn't really do anything to him. Buffaloes and elephants and rhinos might just chase Tingana away, and he's agile enough, then he could get out of that trouble really quickly. But always got to be careful, especially for leopards, because they are solitary creatures, so they're not together with other animals. We've seen that Tingana is by himself, so he's only got himself to look after himself, or to make sure that everything is fine and there are no other predators sneaking up on him. Seems like you were really thirsty. I'm very impressed with you today, Tingana. You made quite a big kill. Stomach is looking full, dragged it all the way down there. Then you defied all logic by coming to have a drink in the middle of the rain. Just goes to show, when the biological needs take precedence over everything, doesn't matter if it's raining, he's just gotten up and come all the way here just to quench his thirst. And then I'm sure that once he's done now, then he's going to head all the way back onto the kill, and then he's going to hang out there until he's finished the kill in the next few days. There's water around, not too far from where he is, so that is actually fantastic news for him. And who knows, if the rain carries on at the rate that it is slowly and steady throughout the day, there might be new puddles that are formed in the drainage line close to where he made the kill. So he wouldn't even have to walk this far to try to get to the water. All he would have to do is just walk a few steps, and then he would get the water from there. Cats drinking is one of the funniest things ever. Now, there have been a lot of studies into the way that they drink. Ah, beautiful. Alrighty, Tingy. You have been sterling efforts this morning. So lovely to catch up with you. I think we're all pretty happy, and we can leave you be a lonely leopard once more, and we're going to head back to Isaac in the Mara with the beautiful cranes.
I'm stuck with these guys because they are so beautiful, so magnific, so gorgeous. I just can't leave. They're just enjoying this beautiful morning. They have moved only about 20 meters. I had to reverse slightly. You can tell that the contrast between the grass where they are and further out, it's drier. So over here, there is, still wet and there's water. So they are enjoying little insects, and you can tell they're not, usually birds they have very high metabolism, so they'll digest whatever they eat quite fast. So they move around, rapidly. These guys, you can tell, they're not moving that fast. They're not desperate. So they're just enjoying themselves as much as possible. Look at that, so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, the one to the right seems to be calling more and more for some reason. My guess is it is the male, and usually in birds, the male usually does entice the female, or does a mating dance, a call, or a dance. And in this case, I think it is singing. And I think it is singing to the female so that, they can mate quite soon. This looks like it's what is going to be happening in the next few weeks because they're staying very close together. Look at this, they're so close to each other. And the male is the one that has been singing the most. He's been the most, vocal. Yeah, look at that. So beautiful. Well, it has been a very great morning having you on Safari Live. On behalf of my colleagues in Juma, South Africa, my cameraman Archie, it's me, Isaac, and please join us again this afternoon where David will be taking you out on another game drive. From me and everybody else is bye-bye and see you tomorrow morning.